Yes. So, welcome to Mo Loves to Talk podcast. I am your host, Crystal Monique, and today is Taco Tuesday. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Yo quiero es Taco Bell. Sí, muy bien, gracias. So today's show is a great show. It's just solo dolo, just me. And I would like to talk about mental health and make sure that we still represent Men's Mental Health Awareness Month since this is June. And of course, we want to celebrate men all month here on Molas to Talk podcast. But first, we want to get into the entertainment news with news you can use. So, the events that we have this week is June the 27th, Come Move Something with Southern Comfort Brass Band at Martin's downtown in Jackson, Mississippi. So make sure you come check it out and tell them Brook and Crane Media Group LLC sent you. I'm super excited that they always do that conversation for the kids. So at Southside Barber, that is at 715 West McDowell Road. So shout out to Kansas, Coke, everyone there is Southside Beauty and Barber. They always do excellent things for the community. So make sure you support them. And if you have someone a kid that needs a haircut, or if you just want to go get a haircut, make sure you check them out at their barbershop. Carlos Miller, which is 85 South, he will be at Johnny T's at the Renaissance August 8th through the 10th. So that should be a fun comedy show, a good date night. Just go and purchase the tickets and surprise your favorite person with a comedy show and dinner too at Johnny T's. That's August the 8th through the 10th. R&B in Park, July the 27th is at 4 p.m. DJ Cujo will be there. It's at the July 27th downtown Hattiesburg. They have musical performances, DJ, food, vendors, and more. Come celebrate life and party in the Hub City. Also coming up, not next week, but the week after that, we will have Ricky Rick the Goat. He is going to be joining me on Mola's the Talk podcast. That's on July the 8th. So make sure you follow Ricky Rick the Goat. That's RICKY the Goat. Yes, so I'm super excited. That would be my first time meeting him, and I appreciate him as well. So cannot wait. Then on June the 26th, Thursday, this Thursday, Kenora Brown will have his birthday bash. And if you guys know Kenora Brown, he hosts a lot of events in Mississippi. So make sure you go check him out. He'll be at 21 Bistro celebrating his birthday. So happy birthday, Kenora. And Social 21 Bistro is the venue. They will be having a live performance by 601 Live and Stephanie. And DJ Energizer will be the one who will be on the ones and two. I would like to give a special shout out to some DJs. DJ Creator, he is a really great supporter of Mother's the Top podcast. He shares my podcast. He also comments and he supports it. So I appreciate he watches it. So I thank you so much. So make sure you show some love as well to DJ Creator. He's on social media. If you want to hire him for his professional DJ services, make sure you do that. And tell them Book and Crime Media, Mola's a Top podcast sent you. Also, the Country Boy August 15th experience is brought to you by the M Bar and JSU. It's supposed to be celebrating the football team in Jackson State and the head coach, TC Taylor. Of course, they're our SWAC champions, and we definitely going to support them because we know they're going to pull it off this season. So, again, that's August the 15th. Oh my God. If y'all did not hear the news, oh my God. The Boy Is Mine tour with Brandy and Monica. They just announced the tickets are going to go on sale this Friday. Of course, our very own Larry Johnson, who sings backup for Monica, will be on tour. So, congratulations to Larry Johnson. Congratulations to Brandy and her team. And also, congratulations to Monica. I know I want to go see that tour. Also joining them on the road will be Kelly Rowland, of course, with Destiny Child, and Money Long, of course, the artist that sings hours and hours and hours. And Jamal Roberts, the American Idol 2025 winner. So, of course, we got to show him some love because he's from Meridian, Mississippi, and he has a phenomenal voice. So, congratulations to them on the Boy Is Mine tour. They have a lot of dates. It starts in October, but the tickets are on go on sale this Friday. They have a trail ride this Tuesday today at the Parlor Room, the all new hookah spot. Make sure you check that out. They got some great specials on for drinks and food. So make sure you go check out Trail Ride Tuesdays. Ooh, get your cowboy hat on and make sure you go trail on down to the Parlor Room and get your hookah and your drinks on. Tell them Mo sent you. Breezy Bowl XX. Chris Brown Breezy is on tour this summer with Summer Walker. I love Summer Walker, and you guys know I'm a big fan of Chris Brown. So get your tickets. He's also on tour. And Chef ZT, make sure you check out Chef ZT. We love his food. If you would like him to cater your food, he definitely will cater. Just reach out to him. It's on Facebook. It's Just Call Me ZT. And if it's on Instagram, it is at the number one ZZT. And you can find him on lunch menu every day when you want to get you a turkey boil, a turkey neck boil. Yes, yes. I have tried it. It is so delicious. My favorite is the Zaxby platter with the shrimp and sausages and the turkey necks. That's my favorite. So make sure y'all check it out. He has some delicious food. Dale Hughley, August 28th through the 31st, will be at the City Winery here in Atlanta. So I cannot wait to see that. I love comedy shows. Y'all know I love to laugh, right? Especially when the comedian is really good. And so Dale Hughley, he has his morning show. And, being that I was a radio host, the co host on the radio, I have a really, big heart for other people who are they just transition from being a comedian, they transition to go on, do on live comedy shows, and then they also been an actor, and then they also have their hand on the radio. They're just very talented. And so D.L. Hughley is one of those ones that is very talented. He's a class act, and I love the way that he carries himself, and he's a family person. So big shout out to him, especially during June when we celebrate men. He's one of those men that have put on other artists. He's given other comedians a chance. He's even given other women chance on his platform. So when I say, I love to see men champion other women, I definitely love that. So kudos to D.L. Hughley. Make sure you shout out D.L. Hughley next time you see him in town. Shout him out and tell him Brook and Crane Media Group, LLC. Oh, Young Jeezy. Well, now he goes by Jeezy, but we know him by Young Jeezy, but it's Jeezy now. So we can take the young because he's not such young anymore. He is a grown man. So Jeezy, yes, he has a book out as well as he's going on tour. So make sure you get the book, and also you make sure you check out him in Atlanta. He's going to be here at the Fox Theater, and that's July the 26th. And what I love about what he's doing, and some of the rappers are doing now, I've seen Rick Ross do it, I've seen some other artists do it, well, they have now an orchestra playing. So I'm super excited to see how that goes. Jeezy has a big catalog of songs, and if you add a lot of symphony and a lot of orchestra players behind him with the strings, I think that's going to be a cool look. Just fun fact, I used to play the violin for 6 years now. Will I be able to pick up a strings and play it now? Yeah, I think I could. What y'all think? You think I could play the violin now? I think so too. So, this has been news you can use. And if you want to have your event highlighted in news you can use on Melissa Talk Podcast on Tuesdays, send me an email at brookencrane@gmail.com. And also, we are still having the podcast festival March the 26th in Jackson, Mississippi. And of course, we will also be announcing when we have the venue. And we are looking for artists and comedians. So if you want to send over your video, and definitely do that at brookencrane@gmail.com. And hopefully you'll be on the tour or be on the stage with us. So yeah, we got a lot of announcements coming up soon. So make sure you keep your notifications set to Brook and Crime Media and Melissa Talk Podcast, as well as the podcast festival. So we're getting ready to get into the quote of the day. So tips to help you motivate you. I hope this will help you because I know I love to be able to do affirmations. I'm big on affirmations. And if you ever watched um, any of the like Black excellence shows, like where Issa Rae was on, and some of the other ones where Gabrielle Union was, they would put little like sticky notes on the window, on their mirrors, I'm sorry, and they will remind themselves how powerful, how wonderful, how excellent they were. So you saying those powerful words will help motivate you to know that you can go out there and do anything that you want to do. And you don't have to listen to the peanut gallery out there, that in the streets that tell you that you can't do anything, because you can do anything you put your mind to. I look at these reality stars, and I know that at one time I wanted to be an actress. And I look at reality stars, and I look how far they've come. Some have actually been, grinding and going on auditions, and they still never got seen. And then they get on the reality show, and then they just soar, right? And that was God's path. And some people look down on reality stars, and I hate when they do that because they work just as hard going through promotions, PR. They actually have to get up and actually perform as well. So I love to be able to see people when they're doing things in their element. And being that I am in the industry and entertainment industry, and I am around a lot of people, my job is also as a PR person is to motivate my client to be better, to be greater, to do things that they normally would not do, to think outside the box. And I also have to remind myself to do the same thing, to think outside the box, to do things different, to get up and post more, and to because that's something that I do a lot, but then sometimes I kind of go to the left and I'll be like, I don't know if I want to post so much. But anything that you do in life is going to be consistent. So if you be consistent, if you want to open up that business, write down everything from A to Z, what you're going to need for that business, even before you go in and get the business on. So I say, when you in life, whenever you're trying to get anything, make sure you put it down in affirmation, put it out there in the universe, and watch it come back. Okay? So here is some quotes. You have to believe in yourself when no one else does. And see, we just was talking about that. We were talking about how you do have to go in and believe in yourself because nobody else will. Then, when you have a dream, you got to grab it and never let it go. So if you have a dream, just like I said, I have a dream of a public relations agency and a studio, right? I've had that dream forever. But I do know that in order for that dream to come true, I have to be consistent and I have to keep going at it, right? When you have a dream, you have to go grab it and never let it go. You have to believe in yourself when no one else does. And the most important thing is to enjoy your life, to be happy, and it's all that matters. I know I've had conversations with my friends recently and I said, a lot of times when you're wanting to do stuff and people, are trying to keep you from doing things, you have to make sure that you take care of yourself and be happy. So if you're not happy, you can't make anyone else happy. So that statement is so true. And yes, I love this one. Spread love everywhere you go. Definitely you have to spread love everywhere you go, because if you don't, if you walk into a room and you exude hatred or you are mean mugging someone, nobody's going to want to work with you. Nobody is going to want to do have a meeting or consultation with you. Smack out when you go into the room, and reach out your hand and shake someone's hand and say, "Hi, my name is Crystal Monique. I'm with Brooklyn Crime Media." And if you have a business card, give them your business card, right? So, everywhere I go, I always have my business card, right? I always have my business card. So I always say, "Hi, my name is Crystal Monique, and I'm with Brooklyn Crime Media. Here's my business card if you definitely need anyone for a flyer, for hosting, for website, for any graphic design, or if you need editing for your video, or you need editing, or to start your own social media page." So that is all part of starting and networking to get what you need in order to get your business started. So don't be ever be afraid to be yourself. And also don't ever be afraid to approach anyone, because I know I'm very approachable. If you see me out in an event, please come and say hello to me. Please say hi. I'm very friendly. I definitely love to be able to talk. I probably will talk your head off. So, just don't be afraid to communicate with each other. And then, we always may decide to work with each other and do some content, some fun content. I know some people are always reaching out to me and saying, "Hey, can we do some fun content?" And I'm like, "Sure, no problem. I love doing content." So, that is super exciting to be able to meet other people that's just as talented, that's so energetic. They may have an idea that may help you get followers or help make get you views that you may not even think about. And also be receptive to other people, giving you a suggestion. Even if you already know how to do it, it may be something that you may not have thought about in that suggestion. So don't just, disregard somebody when they give you a suggestion. Okay. So that's a tip from Mo. Also, here is some most powerful quotes. "I think, therefore I am." To be or not to be, that is the question. Hmm. What is that from? That sounds like that's from one of those plays, like um Shakespeare or something like that. This, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself." Yes. So, truth be told, like when I was getting ready to move to Atlanta, I was pretty fearful at first. I didn't think that I could not handle it, but I was at first afraid, but then, I have some really great friends. I have people who, are, making sure that I'm safe and making sure that I'm comfortable. So I say this to say, if it's something that you feel like you want to do, just make sure you prepare and make sure you pray about it. If God says this is what you feel like you want to do, then go for it. Don't be fearful. And if it's somebody out there that you think that you like, or if it's somebody out there that you want to work with, go out there and do it. Don't be fearful. Do not hesitate, because like the quote says, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself, right? So sometimes if you get rejected because you have a job offer you went for, I've gone for plenty of job offers and I got rejected. But what that did and what it taught me is to get better and, get my resume up. And by the way, Resume Chick LLC, Lachelle McGowan. If you check her out, if you need a resume, check her out. She's on Instagram. I did her website as well as her business cards and did her logo for her business. But check her out. She's at Resume Chick LLC. And during times when people say, hey, I need a resume, I need to revamp my resume, because you do know, like, when you go to and get another job, you do need another resume, right? And when you leave one job and go to another one, you need to get another resume because it has to be updated. So check out Resume Chick LLC, Lachelle McGowan, and let her know Book and Crime Media sent you. Okay. So yes. Then another quote is, I have a dream. So of course the famous Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., he had a dream. And I feel like the dream that he had, with the quality in every man and woman being treated equally at this time in this world, we know that that's something totally different. But we still, in this world, in this time, will always recommend and treat people the same. I'd like to treat people the same no matter what they look like, what their religion is, what their culture is, whatever. I treat everybody the same. And that which does not kill us make us stronger. I love that comment. I love that quote. That which will not kill us make us stronger. And I know sometimes when things get difficult right now out there, somebody out there in the meta world on Facebook right now may be going through difficult times. And if you are going through difficult times and somebody you don't feel seen, reach out to someone, especially since this is Mental Health Awareness Month. Reach out to someone, tell them that you're going through something. It does not always have to look like a therapist, but reach out to someone that you know is empathetic. Because I'm going to tell you this, sometimes when you're going through difficult times, everybody is not going to be open to hear your difficult times because they are going through difficult times, right? And so they're not going to be willing to listen. And sometimes that will be worse than what you not even saying anything, because when you talk to someone and they're not being receptive to what you're saying, it may cause you to even possibly be in a worse position, right? So make sure you kind of take a moment and ask them, hey, I'm going through a difficult time. Is it okay if I talk to you? you know um is this too much for you? Because a lot of times people may be in their own little zone or their own little bubble, and they're going through something themselves, and they can't handle it. So if you feel like you may be talking to the wrong person, then yes, reach out to a therapist. Dr. Shalonda Carlisle, she is very good at www.carlisle for counseling. I'm sorry, www.carlisleforgrowth.com. And she has two locations in Ridgeland, Mississippi, and Pearl, Mississippi. So she's our resident therapist, and we have a lot of great therapists out there. Shout out to Dr. Shawana Williams. So check her out as well. And it's a lot of great therapists out there. And I'm big on therapy. I go to therapy all the time too. And I've been going to therapy for a long time. And I think it makes me a better person. It helps me deal with other people, especially since I am in the public eye and I'm able to deal with certain situations. And it has helped me in, in deal with so much. So yes, get some help if you feel like you need to get some help. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be afraid. And matter of fact, nobody even has to know if you are going to therapy. You can do it all from the convenience, just like we're doing right now with the Zoom. You can just talk to somebody. You can go in your room. You can go wherever it is where you feel comfortable, and you can talk to someone, and they can actually tell you what they feel like will help, give you tips, and maybe even give you homework assignments to make sure that you are on the right track. So don't be afraid to get therapy, or some people like to say counseling. And then in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So right now, I think personally, we need to get back into the subject of depression, anxiety, panic attacks, and triggers. Those are some of the things that I feel like we all can relate to at some point in time. Trauma is a big thing. We talked about that with Dr. Shalonda when she came on last month. Um, Trauma is something really, really big that a lot of people don't even recognize. A lot of times it comes from your childhood, it could come from domestic violence, it could come from even your workplace. Triggers are something that one person that has done something to you, when you get into another relationship, that same thing that that person did in your old relationship could trigger you for in this new relationship, or your new friendship that you're trying to even have with someone. Trust issues also is very important when you're trying to get to know someone, or when you're trying to be in a position where you know you're trying to even trust a business partner, or trust someone that's a coworker to get an assignment done that you need their help with, and you left for work and you possibly need them to finish it. You got to trust them, and you know that in the past when you left that same work for someone to do, they didn't do it right, they didn't come through. So for me, what I like to do is I like to make sure that I don't micromanage, but I also like to make sure, because my name is on my brand and my name is on whatever project I'm working on. I definitely like to follow up, right? So here are some things that when it comes to depression, and when it comes to even going in and talking about, like I said, panic attacks. That is something that we all need to be abreast of, because we never know when we may have a panic attack, and we know we definitely need to know what that is, right? So what is depression? And if you watched last week's show or the week before and you saw what I was talking about, great. For the ones who hasn't, this is for you. What is depression? It's a group of conditions associated with the elevation of lowering or a person's mood, such as depression or bipolar depression disorder. A clinical depression is a mental health disorder characterized by persistency, depressed mood, or loss of interest in activities, causing significant impairments in daily life. A bipolar disorder, a disorder associated with episodes of mood swings ranging from depressive lows to manic highs. That exact cause of bipolar isn't known, but a combination of genetics, environment, and alter. What is anxiety? A mental health disorder characterized by feelings of worry, anxiety, or fear that are strong enough to interfere with one's daily activities. An example of anxiety is a panic, and an anxiety disorder may lead into a social isolation and clinical depression and can impair a person's ability to work, study, and do routine activities. So we all, maybe even college more so than maybe early, now, but we all have had a family member or a friend or one of or us, you may have dealt with situations where it impaired your ability to work, to study, or to do any routine activities. Like, sometimes you may see somebody and they sleep a lot, or sometimes they may not even want to go nowhere. Sometimes they feel like they're isolated. Those are having anxiety. Those are when people are dealing with those type of issues. They consider that anxiety. Okay. So you know what that looks like. And what is panic attacks? I'd say probably three panic attacks. A lot of times is when I'm having a big project and or I have a lot to do and I feel like I can't get done all in a timely manner, so I have a panic attack. And it feels so crazy because it feels like sharp pains, and you feel like you just cannot breathe, and what I do is I've learned is like breathe in and breathe out and breathe in and breathe out. So I've learned some breathing techniques. I learned to like do some yoga and meditate. Of course, I pray, but I just sit still and breathe. Just breathe. I count to 10. I count backwards. Um, it just and I try to like shut the noise out, cut the TV off. I may listen to some music. If you are having problems sleeping, like I used to have insomnia too. So, insomnia is not being able to sleep all the way through. And like people would text me, and I was like, dang, why you text me? Now I can't even go back to sleep. I already was having problems sleeping. So, I try now, and I can sleep through the night now, y'all. So, yes. So, but when I was having problems sleeping, I did do some other things. So I would maybe even put the Calm app, it's CALM app, where you can actually listen to people, listen to noises, the waterfalls. You can even go on to YouTube and put that on, and it's just so awesome, right? And then also, I like to now watch podcasts. And so, my favorite podcast right now is Keep It Positive, Sweetie, with Crystal Renee. She's from Zatima and Sisters, Tyler Perry Sisters. I love her podcast. I love to watch Drink Champs, $1 Million Game. I like to watch Poor Minds with Drea Nicole and Lex P. I like to watch the 85 South. Um, let's see. It's some new ones too, y'all. Gigi McGuire, she has her new show. Um, I also like to watch B Simone, and it's a lot of things about that podcast that she just aired that a lot of people are saying about B Simone. And but I love how vulnerable she was. I love how honest she was, and I love the fact that her friend doesn't treat her no different than um anybody else. Like, I love the fact that they have a good solid friendship and they show up for each other. Like, sometimes, like when you're going through something and you know that you're going through something, you may not want to burden anybody, you may not want to tell them anything. But that was the gist of the episode, is that her best friend was going through something and she didn't want to tell B Simone, because B Simone, she's a celebrity, she got a lot of stuff going on, and she didn't want her to feel like she had to help her financially. And I love that. Sometimes you just want to vent. You don't want anybody to solve the problem. You don't want anybody to have to, pay anything. You just want to vent, right? Everybody's been there. Everybody has financial problems. Everybody has had your high highs and low lows, right? And but it's always good to have somebody that is going to be there for you no matter what. They're not going to judge you. They're not going to make you feel bad. They're just going to love on you and be loyal to you and just trust that they're going to be there, right? So that's what we want. That's all we want. In times like when you're going through depression, times when you're going through a sad, you grieving. Some people, some women grieve, and even men grieve. Losing a child, postpartum. When you go through a divorce, a lot of people don't know. Like when you go through a divorce, that's grieving. That's someone that you've been with for a period of time, and you're no longer gonna be able to be with that person. Or even like if you're in a relationship, and you're not able to, actually be with that person anymore, that's grieving, and that sometimes people will go through a depression. And so my advice, if anybody out there, don't blame yourself if you're not feeling like you're good enough for anything. If you feel like you're not good enough for that man, if you feel like you're not good enough for that woman, or if you feel like you're not good enough to that job, or you're trying to see why is this person succeeding and getting all the blessings, and they feel like they're getting all the ladies, or they feel like they're getting all the job offers and they're just being so successful, but I'm not. But what I want to say is that if you believe in God and if you believe in the ability to be patient. Now, I know I'm not patient all the time, but I do know that it's my time, it's my time, it's my season. And right now, I know that it's my season. And I know that I just got to be patient, and love is going to come. I know that I'm going to have everything that God has for me, and I'm going to be patient. You just have to put those things in there, and you have to actually open up your heart to receive the love. And you can't be afraid to love either, because I know in the past I'll be afraid to love someone, afraid to let people in, because I always like, oh, they're gonna hurt me, or they're gonna do this. But you cannot be worried about that, because you can actually learn from being hurt. You can also learn from your mistakes, and you can also learn from failures, right? And so I just want to say I love you. And, if you have any questions for me, make sure you put it in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have for me. Or if you need any marketing ideas, reach out to me on brookandcrane@gmail.com. And again, like I said, if you're interested in being part of the podcast festival, maybe volunteering, maybe being a vendor, we are accepting vendors now, and we are accepting food truck vendors as well. So, you guys, I know that we have had a great show. I know that you guys are going to be so wonderful, and you're going to do so great the rest of this week. And I just want to leave you with something. In life, you may not always get to be the first person on the the role that you want with as an actor. You may not always get to be the position that you want at your job. You may not always get to have $1 million in your bank account, but it's what's the wealth and the joy that you have in your heart is what's all in important. And everything else, when you work hard, is gonna come. Okay, so just know Mo says and Mo knows that you got this. So I'm gonna leave it. And again, I want to thank so much for tuning in to my Loves to Talk podcast. You can check out all my events on Brook and Crane Media Group LLC. And if you want to sponsor Mo Loves to Talk podcast, you want us to broadcast or showcase your product, definitely reach out to me on Brook and Crane at gmail.com, or you can inbox me at Brooklyn Crane Media. I am Brooklyn Crane Media on Instagram and on Facebook, Brooklyn Crane Media Group LLC. And till next time, on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. And oh, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. We got a YouTube page that we're starting, and we need 1,000, 100,000, 1 million subscribers. Okay, so I want y'all to like, subscribe, and comment and share my YouTube page. And till next time on My Loves to Talk podcast, this is your girl Krista Monique, and we'll see you again. And thank you to Ray Rock Robinson for my theme song. And happy birthday to all of the June birthdays. And again, to the men, we salute you and we thank you so much for being so great. Bye bye.